Researchers call it a medical breakthrough, a vaccine that prevents cancer, specifically a type of cancer caused by a virus millions of Americans have right now, human papillomavirus, or HPV, something health officials say 250,000 people in Travis County have right now. But KXAN's Sally Hernandez found some Texas doctors are not strongly recommending this potentially life-saving vaccine.
This is not a story about controversy or debate. It's about a vaccine believed to prevent the majority of HPV-related cancers. The most common are cervical cancer in women and throat cancer in men. Researchers say it must be given before someone is sexually active or exposed to the virus. And that's why it's recommended for kids, girls and boys between 11 and 12, but as young as 9 and up to 26 years old, before it's too late, like it was for this mother. Cara Millian has just one photo of herself battling cervical cancer, but the graphic picture of what it took from her is clear.
It was the surgery itself. What they were going to do was not only do a total hysterectomy, but remove my bladder, remove, parts of my intestine, my rectum, cut me down the middle and take part of my abdomen muscles and reconstruct things.
We see daily here at MD Anderson patients who come with very advanced cancer that unfortunately we're unable to cure because it's advanced.
Hi, how are you? Good.
Dr. Kathleen Schmaler operated on Cara and thousands of other women whose own cancer was caused by HPV. She's also part of a research team trying to figure out why HPV vaccination rates are so low in Texas. The research shows less than 40% of girls in the state are getting all 3 doses of the vaccine. It's even less for boys, just 20%. And here in Travis County, an even lower rate for girls, with 36%, 21% of boys. Researchers say that's because in Austin, there are a lot of families opting out of the vaccine, fearing it will lead to their children having sex.
When I hear other parents say, oh, I'm not sure, and, oh, maybe we should wait. And the worst thing you can do is wait because you really want to give that vaccine before they become sexually active. But I often say to these parents, why don't you come and spend a day with me at work at MD Anderson and see what, the consequences of this virus can be.
But it's not just parents.
We know that for most people, the most important thing is a really strong recommendation from the pediatrician.
A recent statewide survey by MD Anderson says many doctors are not strongly recommending the vaccine, partly because it's not mandated. It's recommended by the CDC, but not required for students like other vaccines. It's something this Austin pediatrician recognizes, but always stresses it's a cancer-preventing vaccine.
And so it's those that are coming in that sort of are like, what do you think? That's our opportunity to say, yes, let's, for public health, for personal health, for our kids.
It's the most amazing thing you can do for your children is to give them a vaccine that would eventually prevent cancer.
Cara didn't have that option.
The option was to do the surgery and give myself a chance, or don't, and die.
5 years later, she's cancer-free. And while this photo reminds her of the past, it also reminds her of the future and her kids.
I am hoping that somebody, that every parent sees this and, it was going through it. It was horrible. It's changed my life forever. And I don't want my children going through it.
I found numerous surveys of doctors, not only in Texas, but around the country, talking about the barriers that come along with recommending the HPV vaccine. Some say it's the stigma that comes along with HPV being sexually transmitted. Many view it as a discussion about sex, not about cancer. Another reason HPV-related cancers happen much later in life as adults, not in kids. Research found it makes the vaccine seem less urgent. And then there's the misconception that boys don't need it. Dr. Schmaler says it is equally important. She says throat cancer is rising rapidly in men and at this rate is surpassing the rate of cervical cancer in women. Sally Hernandez, KXAN News.
Sally, thank you. We checked and learned the HPV vaccine is only mandated in Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Rhode Island, but not here in Texas. However, in 2007, then Governor Rick Perry tried to make the HPV vaccine a requirement for all 6th grade girls 11 to 12 years old, an order that was overturned by the legislature. Keep in mind, the vaccine is only given until age 26, and some young people might not get the vaccine after they move out of their parents' home and go to college. But we learned places like the University of Texas are trying to raise awareness that it might not be too late for students to get vaccinated. One such effort was created with a student's help after learning many people, especially men, do not know about HPV or the vaccine. You can read more about this awareness campaign right now in this story on the homepage of KXAN.com.